In the Sultanahmet district of Istanbul, or Constantinople, we can find the Hagia Sophia, also known as the Cathedral of Holy Wisdom. While now a mosque, it is one of the most important buildings in world history and a testament to Christianity in the Eastern Roman Empire. But let's take a closer look. The Hagia Sophia has had a profound influence on design and architecture throughout countries associated and heavily linked to Orthodox Christianity, whether it is in Russia, Bulgaria, or Greece. But these links and sentimentality towards Sophia are also old and embody an interesting historical concept called the Byzantine Commonwealth. Before Constantinople fell, the influence of Byzantium stretched well beyond her borders, shaping art and politics in other Orthodox countries. Instead of simplifying medieval history to mere empires and kings, the Byzantine Commonwealth places community and religion into the center. Today, I will take you on a journey throughout one of history's most fascinating yet often overlooked cultural spheres, the Byzantine Commonwealth. This isn't a term you'll find in many popular history books, but it's crucial for understanding how the legacy of the Eastern Roman Empire shaped Eastern Europe and parts of the Middle East for over 1,000 years and continues to influence our world today, particularly in countries touched by Byzantium. I'm Madeline Rose Jones, and I study history, literature, and culture. Welcome to Snowy Fictions. The term Byzantine Commonwealth was popularized by historian Dmitry Obolensky to describe not the empire itself, but rather the wider cultural, religious, and political community that formed around Byzantium. Think of it as a sphere of influence that extended far beyond the empire's territorial boundaries. This commonwealth encompassed various Slavic states, including Bulgaria, Serbia, and the Rus. It also included Georgia, Armenia, and at times regions of the Caucasus. These lands weren't colonies or provinces in the traditional sense. Instead, they were independent political entities that shared in Byzantine civilization, particularly its Orthodox Christian faith, its Cyrillic alphabet, derived from Greek, its artistic and architectural traditions, and aspects of its political theory. The artistic traditions of the Byzantine Commonwealth deserve special mention, particularly the magnificent mosaics and frescoes that adorn sacred spaces. In the cave churches of Cappadocia in central Turkey, Byzantine-style frescoes dating from the 9th to the 11th centuries transforms natural rock formations into vibrant spaces of worship. Similarly, in the Rila Mountains of Bulgaria, the Rila Monastery showcases the Commonwealth's artistic continuation with its spectacular frescoes dating from the 14th century. These artistic traditions weren't mere decorations, but served as a visual theology, communicating biblical narratives and Orthodox doctrine to the faithful across linguistic boundaries. The consistent iconographic style found from these remote mountain sanctuaries to the imperial churches of Constantinople demonstrates how art unified the Commonwealth's diverse regions into a visual common language. The relationship between Byzantium and these states was complex. The emperor in Constantinople was recognized as having a special status, the primus inter pares, or first among equals, in the hierarchy of Christian rulers. The Byzantine emperor was a protection of Orthodox Christians everywhere, a role that carried both religious and political implications. When we think of the Roman Empire, our minds often drift to legionaries marching through Gaul or the Colosseum towering over the Seven Hills. But Rome's story didn't end with the barbarian invasions of the 5th century. Instead, power shifted eastward to Constantinople, a city founded by Emperor Constantine in AD 330 and designed to be a new Rome. This concept of a new Rome is essential for understanding the Byzantine Commonwealth. It wasn't merely about relocating a capital, it represented the transformation and continuation of Roman civilization. Constantinople was deliberately constructed as an improved version of Rome, with forums, a senate, hippodrome, and imperial palaces, but also with distinctly Christian elements that the old Rome seemingly lacked. At the heart of this was the Hagia Sophia, a prime cathedral mentioned at the beginning of this video, and a glorious crown to Christendom. While ruined in the time of Justinian, he sought to rebuild it again, better than ever before. The emperors who ruled from Constantinople saw themselves as the legitimate heirs to Caesar and Augustus. They maintained Roman law, administration, and military traditions, while embracing Greek language and culture, and most importantly, Orthodox Christianity. This distinctive blend created something new, yet anchored in ancient authority, a Christian Roman Empire that would endure for over 1,000 years after the fall of the Western provinces. The true cement of the Byzantine Commonwealth was Orthodox Christianity. From the gleaming domes of Kiev to the rock-hewn churches of Georgia, Orthodox Christianity provided a common spiritual language that transcended political boundaries. The Byzantine Church sent missionaries like Saint Cyril and Methodius to convert the Slavs, creating not only new Christian communities, but also the Cyrillic alphabet that would allow Slavic languages to be written and liturgical texts to be translated. Monasticism flourished throughout the Commonwealth, with Mount Athos in Greece becoming a spiritual center where monks from Russia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Georgia, and beyond lived and prayed together. This shared religious tradition shaped everything, from art and architecture to law and governance. The distinctive style of Byzantine iconography spread throughout Eastern Europe. Similarly, the domed church design that reaches its pinnacle in Constantinople's Hagia Sophia was replicated from Novgorod to Tbilisi. The Byzantine Commonwealth faced numerous challenges throughout its existence, from Arab conquests to Crusader incursions, but none were more devastating than the rise of the Ottoman Turks. Beginning as a small principality in Anatolia, the Ottomans methodically dismantled Byzantine territories until, in 1453, Sultan Mehmed II captured Constantinople itself, bringing the 1,000-year legacy of the Eastern Roman Empire to its violent end. The city's fall was marked by 3 days of looting, destruction of priceless religious artifacts, and the conversion of the magnificent Hagia Sophia, the spiritual heart of Orthodox Christianity, into a mosque. The fall of Constantinople represents a catastrophic rupture in world history, often marked as the end of the Middle Ages. Despite Sultan Mehmed II's attempts to portray himself as the Kaiser-i-Rom, also known as the Caesar of Rome, this was mere political theatre that couldn't disguise the fundamental destruction of the Byzantine Commonwealth's central organizing principle, Christian emperor ruling from the new Rome. For Orthodox Christians living under Ottoman rule, the new reality was one of subjugation and second-class status. The imposed millet system is often portrayed as granting religious autonomy, but in practice, it made discrimination a daily reality. Christians faced special taxes, particularly the jizya head tax, restrictions on building or repairing churches, limitations on public worship, and the devastating, tragic Devashirme system, the forced collection of Christian boys to serve in the Janissary Corps after their forced conversion to Islam. The ecumenical patriarch of Constantinople found himself in the precarious position being both a spiritual leader and an Ottoman official responsible for his community's compliance with Muslim rule. Countless Christians, as you can tell, chose exile rather than life under Ottoman dominion, fleeing to Venice, Russia, and other Orthodox lands, taking with them manuscripts, icons, and the living traditions of Byzantine civilization. Meanwhile, though, beyond Ottoman borders, the idea of the Byzantine Commonwealth found new expression. Moscow, which had received Christianity from Constantinople, began to style herself as the Third Rome. After the fall of Constantinople, the Second Rome, Russian rulers saw themselves as the true heirs of Roman and Byzantine tradition, the defenders of orthodoxy in a world where the original centers of the faith had fallen to non-Christian powers. The Byzantine Commonwealth's legacy remains visible in our world today. The Orthodox Church, with its distinctive liturgy, theology, and art, continues to be a major Christian denomination with over 200 million adherents. From Russia to Greece, Romania to Serbia, Orthodox Christianity remains a defining feature of national identity. Today, those who visit Istanbul formerly known as Constantinople, have many opportunities to encounter the Byzantine legacy of the Hagia Sophia and Chora Church, as well as relics in numerous museums across Asia Minor and the Peloponnese. The political legacy is equally significant. The concept of symphony, the ideal relationship between church and state that developed in Byzantium, continues to influence politics in many Orthodox countries. Similarly, Byzantine legal traditions were incorporated into the legal codes of numerous Eastern European states. Perhaps the most notable example is the Zakonik, or the legal code, of Stefan Dusan, the 14th century Serbian emperor, which explicitly drew from Byzantine law, particularly Justinian's Corpus Juris Civilis, while adapting it to Serbian circumstances. This legal framework influenced Serbian jurisprudence for centuries and exemplifies how Byzantine legal concepts spread throughout the Commonwealth. Cultural influences abound as well. Byzantine-style iconography has experienced a revival in recent decades, not only in traditional Orthodox countries but worldwide. The architectural style of the Byzantine Church, with its central dome and Greek cross plan, inspired buildings far beyond the Commonwealth's borders, from St. Mark's in Venice to sacred spaces throughout the Orthodox world. Even in geopolitics, we can see echoes of the Commonwealth. Russia's self-perception as the protector of Orthodox Christians abroad and its complicated relationship with Constantinople, now Istanbul, reflect historical patterns established during the Byzantine era. The Byzantine Commonwealth represents one of history's most enduring cultural formations, a civilization that survived the fall of its imperial center and continues to shape our world today. It reminds us that empires are more than their territorial boundaries. Rather, they're systems of ideas, beliefs, and practices that can outlive political structures. Byzantium endures, and it is easy to see why. When the Hagia Sophia was converted back to a mosque in 2020, I observed the disappointment and upset from many Orthodox Christians, whether they were Russian, Serbian, Greek, Romanian, or American. The symbolism and legacy of Sophia and that of the Eastern Roman Empire lingers. As we navigate complex realities of cultural exchange, multipolarism, and political realignment, the Byzantine Commonwealth offers valuable lessons about how civilizations evolve, adapt, and endure, even in the face of seemingly inconquerable challenges. In the golden mosaics of Orthodox churches and the ancient melodies of Byzantine chant, we find echoes of a world that never truly vanished, but instead transformed, contributing its unique heritage to human civilization. But more than that, we are forever in awe of the stunning beauty and magnificent artwork found in Orthodox Christianity during the Middle Ages and how it still influences religious practice today. Back to you. What are your thoughts on the Byzantine Commonwealth? Have you studied its art, theology, or politics? Comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts and start a discussion. Subscribe for frequent videos about history, literature, and culture. I also have a mailing list, blog, and creative writing classes, all linked below. Thank you for watching, and I will certainly see you soon. Goodbye for now.